Washington. A bombshell Saturday night at the Caps farm team in Hershey. Doug Yingst, with the Hershey Bears for 33 years and GM for the last 19, announced his retirement effective at the end of the year. 4 Calder Cup championships. If he ever unretires, and if the Kings don't re-sign Andre Kopitar, there would be 2 of the most valuable free agents next summer. They have led the league in attendance 9 straight years, and he is undoubtedly watching, because he always watches the parent team that goes on the power play, the Washington Capitals.
For me, it's a first-name basis. 2 famous names, Doug and Frank. Frank Mathers took a leadership position with the Bears in 1962. Doug Yingst joined the team in 1982, and for 9 wonderful years, they worked together. Fortunately for all of us, they were this team's soul, and transition was seamless one to the other. You don't just put on a suit and manufacture that, it's in your heart. And I'm only glad that in my lifetime, I can count as my friends 2 who were the Bears' soul and shared that with all of us for a total of 9 years. Fond memories of Frank Mathers and the irreplaceable Doug Yingst.
Good evening and welcome to the best fans in pro hockey. If you'd have told me that I'd be working here in Hershey and Doug Yingst wouldn't, I certainly wouldn't believe it, especially considering where I came from. But as Doug always says to me, in a way only he can, just remember I can still fire you. And before we get too far, and before he keeps his word, let me introduce the most special people in Doug's life who are joining us here tonight. With us to celebrate his mom, Arlene, wife, Sharon, and many members of his immediate family. Also with us tonight is the President and CEO of the American Hockey League, Mr. David Andrews. And our President and CEO of Hershey Entertainment and Resorts, Mr. Bill Simpson. And of course, the man of the hour, our President and General Manager, Doug Yingst. Pushing me to move this along here from behind. Tonight we honor this man who's been with your Hershey Bears Hockey Club since 1982. 34 years of his life dedicated to the oldest and proudest franchise in the AHL. His contributions to this great community go far beyond what we could possibly present to you in the time that we have this evening. But to get things started, please direct your attention to the video board.
A local boy born right here in Hershey, Doug Yingst began his career with the Hershey Bears in 1982. Aspiring to be a head coach, Yingst was hired by the legendary Frank Mathers as the team's sales and promotions director. Working closely with Mathers, Yingst would make a name for himself in the AHL almost immediately. 1988 was a very memorable year. He would win the AHL's Ken McKenzie Award, which is given annually by the league to the person judged to have done the most to promote his team, be promoted as assistant general manager under Mathers, and it would be the first of 5 Calder Cups he would be a part of with the Bears. In 1991, Yingst would add Director of Hockey Operations to his assistant GM title, winning a 2nd Calder Cup championship in 1997.
Doug, congratulations on a great career. I know you've done quite a job for the Bears in many capacities, but I remember my arrival in Hershey in '96. I spent 2 wonderful years, and how can we forget 1996, 1997 Calder Cup championship? You were unbelievable. Thanks for your great support.
Then, in 1998, Yingst would be named the Bears president and general manager. After affiliation changes with the Philadelphia Flyers and Colorado Avalanche, Yingst would work to have the Bears affiliated with the Washington Capitals. That would start one of the greatest affiliations in AHL history.
Congratulations, Doug, on an outstanding career with the Hershey Bears. You won a lot of championships, but more importantly, you're the sweetest guy in the sweetest place on earth.
Since the affiliation with the Capitals began in 2005, Yingst has engineered 3 Calder Cup titles with 3 different coaches.
I know you're stepping down, but at the same time, I hope you're not done with hockey yet. Look forward to working with you someday in some capacity, but you've meant everything to me in my career. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I am today, and the Hershey Championship was still the greatest moment of my life.
His team in 2009-10 skated their way to 60 victories, an AHL record that may never be broken, and the Bears' 2005-2010 years may be the best 5-year run an AHL hockey team will ever see.
I think the most vivid memory I have of our time together at Hershey was going to Texas down 0-2 in the Calder Cup Finals and being able to win 3 straight games there, capping it off with the Game 5 overtime win. And I remember coming down after the game and meeting you in the tunnel and getting a chance to embrace you, knowing that we had probably won the series with bringing it back home to Hershey for Game 6. But it was quite an accomplishment.
In addition, the Bears would only ever miss the playoffs 3 times since 1998. Yingst would win the Thomas E. Bright Award, given for outstanding service to the AHL, and the James Hendy Award, presented to the Outstanding Executive of the Year in the league in 2006. He is only one of 4 men in league history to win the Hendy Award twice, also earning it in 2000.
When you think of the perfect hockey executive, Dougie comes to mind. He's combined a tremendous knowledge of the game of hockey, but as importantly, the business of hockey, a rare combination. You've done it all, Doug, with professionalism, class, and the highest amount of integrity. You've touched the lives of many of us here in the American Hockey League and the National Hockey League. You built relationships that are going to last a lifetime. The Hershey Bears and the American Hockey League are certainly going to miss you.
Yingst will end his career as one of, if not the most, decorated player, coach, or general manager the AHL has ever seen.
Doug has obviously had quite a distinguished career with the Bears and has influenced hundreds and hundreds of players and coaches, including some who are also with us tonight. We welcome representatives from the 5 Calder Cup championship teams of which Doug was a part. From the 1988 Calder Cup championship team, AHL and Hershey Bears Hall of Famer, Mitch Lamoureux. From the 1997 Calder Cup championship team, team captain Mike McHugh. From the 2006 championship team, MVP Freddie Kasibi. From the 2009 championship team, captain and current assistant coach Ryan Helmer. And the assistant coach of the 2010 championship team, now our head coach, Troy Mann. And we certainly can't forget one individual that has been with Doug for all of these teams and the ups and downs surrounding them. Head trainer Dan Bickerstaff. We all know how great a career Doug has had here at Hershey. What was not mentioned in the video were the many positions he held within the American Hockey League's various committees and boards during his tenure. Also, we can't forget to mention in that time he has coached the Hershey Junior Bears Quebec Pee Wee teams to 3 championships. And now it's time to turn the mic over to one of Doug's longtime friends, the man who watched the American Hockey League grow to a 30-team membership, AHL President and CEO, Mr. Dave Andrews.
Thank you, Scott. What a great honor it is for me to be here tonight, and even greater than I imagined when I look and see these Hershey Bears Hall of Famers just introduced and AHL Hall of Famers, and think about the history of this franchise and the fact that I've been able to be part of it for 29 years myself over the years. And I know the pocket of you that boo me every time I come here, and it all goes back to 96, 97. It's a lot of older folks who remember the suspension to Dean Melanson. And for that, I'm sorry. This is a bittersweet occasion for me tonight, as I'm sure it is for all of you. I'm honored to be here to recognize the outstanding contributions of Doug to the Hershey Bears and to the American Hockey League over his 35-year career as an executive with this organization. As you saw in the video, I've had the opportunity to present Doug twice with the Hendy Award as the Outstanding Executive in the American Hockey League, presented him also with the E-Bright Award for Outstanding Career Contributions to the AHL, and most importantly of all to you, I've had the opportunity to present 4 Calder Cup championship trophies to teams that were built by Doug Yingst. I've known Doug for 30 years, and I can tell you that he's among the most respected individuals in our sport as an executive, not only for his knowledge of the game, but for his compassion and his willingness to collaborate with others in our league and in the National Hockey League for the good of the game. He has served on our executive committee with the AHL for more than a decade, and in that role has been looking over my shoulder, and I'm looking forward from now on to just having his bobblehead looking over my shoulder in the office. I think the greatest tribute that I could pay to Doug is to share with you all, who are such great fans of the Hershey Bears, that no one, and I mean no one, during my career has fought harder for the Bears than Doug Yingst. Everything that Doug has ever done at our board level, everything he's ever done in terms of positioning his team and the way that he works with the league, whether it's scheduling, whether it's complaining about officiating, whether it's complaining about decisions that we make, he is the most passionate leader of any team that our league has ever seen, and the Bears are lucky to have him. On behalf of all 30 of our teams in the American Hockey League family, all of Doug's friends on our board of governors, players and coaches around the league, I'd like to present him with a token of our appreciation for his wonderful career.
Very much, Dave. And now, please welcome the President and CEO of our Hershey Entertainment and Resorts, Mr. Bill Simpson.
Thank you, Scott. Doug Yingst has been a driving force behind the Hershey Bears Hockey Club for well over 30 years. His leadership has been a critical component in helping us to lift the Calder Cup 5 times, a feat that's been not replicated by any other general manager during the same time. How about a round of applause for that accomplishment? Throughout his tenure as president and general manager, Doug has worked tirelessly to uphold the highest tradition of Hershey Bears hockey, both on and off the ice, for the players, the team, and the entire organization. And while this moment is bittersweet, it goes without saying that he will always be a storied part of the Hershey Bears organization. All of us can't thank him enough for his dedication and decades-long devotion to hockey, the Hershey Bears, the American Hockey League, and our company. On behalf of Hershey Entertainment Resorts, I would like to present Doug with with this token of our appreciation. This ring symbolizes just some of Doug's accomplishments during his 34-year career at Hershey. There are 5 diamonds on one side, symbolizing the 5 Calder Cups achieved under his leadership. On the opposite side, there are 2 diamonds representing Doug's 2 Jane Hinties Awards for the most outstanding contribution to the American Hockey League, and 1 diamond for his Thomas Ebright Award for outstanding career contributions to the American Hockey League. On the top, we have Doug's favorite Bears logo from the 1958 through 1988 seasons, surrounded by 34 chocolate diamonds signifying Doug's years with the team. Doug, from everyone at Hershey Entertainment Resorts, thank you for everything you've done to foster a lifelong winning tradition here. I can certainly say with absolute certainty that you are leaving behind a wonderful legacy that will be remembered and celebrated by all that love Hershey Bears hockey. Thank you, Doug. And he's ready to sit back down. Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour and the past 34 plus years, our president and general manager, Doug Yingst.
Thanks, Deuce. We're really here, though, because tomorrow is Scott Stuccio's birthday. Happy birthday. It's truly an honor to be here representing the very best historic franchise in the American Hockey League. There's a saying that the greater the gratitude, the shorter the speech of thanks. If that were the rule on this occasion, I must confess I would have completed my remarks because words cannot convey the fullness of my appreciation. Special thanks to Bill Simpson for hosting this event and for supporting me throughout the years. To Dave Andrews for his friendship, vision, and leadership that has made the AHL the envy of most professional sports league. His friendship has and will continue to be very important to me. One's accomplishments can usually be found in his or her surrounded strengths and support. Those strengths and support for me have been many. First and foremost, my family. My father, who passed away when I turned 10, taught me the value of hard work and competition. I wanted to be like my dad, who was a professional auctioneer, so I started auctioneering that summer at the age of 10. My mother, who's as tall sitting down as standing up, was left with 3 children, ages 10, 12, and 13, and did a miraculous job in raising those 3 children. She taught me the values of religion, education, courtesy, self-discipline, and love. Mom is a die-hard Bears fan. When traveling with the team after the game, as I walk down to the locker room, Mom will always call and say, "Go Bears," and then she immediately hangs up. The key is, though, when we lose, she never calls. My wife has taught me the value of understanding, support, patience, and of course love. She's raised our 4 sons with respect, diligence, and moral dignity. I would not be here without her. Our 4 boys have been the highlight of our lives. Many years ago, we had the privilege to watch our oldest son, Matty, play his first professional hockey game on a Thursday night, scoring the game-winning goal. Our youngest son, Dan, next playing high school football in Hershey on Friday night. Mark playing college football on Saturday afternoon in Millersville, while Matt was playing college hockey on Sunday. The late journalist Stan Sarnowski, after winning back-to-back Calder Cups, asked me if that was the greatest achievement. I said absolutely not. Raising 4 boys, having 8 and now 9 grandchildren was. Meet my family once again. Missing is our 1 son with 3 grandchildren and his wife from Pittsburgh. Time does not permit the multitude of people that I would like to thank, and please accept my apology if I disappoint anyone, as I am so appreciative to all that have assisted me through the last 3+ decades. Many thanks to Frank Mathers and Bruce McKinney, who have meant a great deal to me, my family, and career. I had the splendid opportunity to work with and for Frank and Bruce. Their knowledge, tutelage, and leadership molded my career. In 1987, when Frank told me I was ready to become the assistant GM with Bruce's approval, he informed me that I must have broad shoulders and thick skin. I was preparing myself for the critical world that we reside and came across what Aristotle once wrote. If you don't want to be criticized, say nothing, do nothing, and therefore be nothing. That comment makes criticism look good. Thanks to Dave Parrow, Rich Lamoureux, Mike McHugh, Freddie Cassidy, Brian Helmer, Troy Mann, and our wonderful alumni, to Randy Waybright for your friendship and our outstanding off-ice officials, Dan Strawhecker, Tommy Fort, and our fabulous strength crew, Jim Jones, what a great individual. Maria, you're the very best. Bob and Janet, Mary, Andy, Nate, Stretch, Giant Center box office, Dan, Ken Hatt, sitting up here 91 years and going strong. Butchie, CJ, Aaron Henry, what a talent. Great Save Production, Vicky Holquist, Todd Pagliarillo, Garrett Gowley, the Hall of Fame Committee, Hershey Junior Bears, of course, and Franny. Many thanks. To good friend and the very best, Mike Emmerich, George McPhee, Bob Clark, Brian McClellan, thank you, and to all the employees of Hershey Entertainment Resort. So 34 years, better than 1,300 wins, 750 players, with the likes of Keith Alcoyne, Alex Giroux, Ross Fitzpatrick, Ron Hextall, Chris Bork, and this outstanding team's talent. It's time for closure. As wonderful as this is, it's not about me. It's about our coaches, John Paddock, Bob Hartley, Mark French, Bob Woods, Mike Foligno, Troy Mann, and who could forget Bruce Boudreau? Little story about Bruce. December 26, 2007, the day after Christmas, we're traveling to Bridgeport to play that night against the Sound Tigers. Bruce's wife does everything for him. Packs his clothes, his pillows, his blankets for the bus, his lunch. He has shrimp cocktail while the rest of us are eating Cheez-Its. His bus movies, etc. However, when we got off the bus and Bruce was changing from his tracksuit to his game suit, the pants to his suit were missing. I think Bob Woods is still laughing in Saskatoon. So we had to come up with a solution. I went out to the Zamboni entrance and yelled at John Walton to come down to the locker room that we have an emergency. So Bruce wore John Walton's suit pants, well below the waist, I might add. And John wore Bruce's tracksuit pants in the radio booth. Most importantly, we won the game. This night is about our talented players and staff, the great HL staff, our medical team headed by Dr. Kevin Black, Dennis, Dr. Andy Gold, and of course, the best of the best speaker. But most importantly, it's about you. There's no Hershey Bears without you, the most dedicated, knowledgeable, and demanding fans of all hockey. You push to make and keep this franchise the very best. I end with this. A few weeks ago, one of my friends sent me the following. Doug, congratulations. You're now a teenager, which is a senior teenager. You have almost everything that you wanted as a teenager, only 60 years later. You don't have to go to school or work. You get an allowance every month. You have your own pad. You don't have a curfew. You have a driver's license and you own your own car. You have ID which gets you into bars. You don't have acne. Life is great. You have more friends that you should send this to, but right now you can't remember their names. God bless, many thanks. Now it's time for the main event. Let's play hockey.